Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on into the Jets Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, I want to discuss what offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand had to say about the offensive game plan heading into this Week 2 matchup versus the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be a crazy game, an AFC East showdown in MetLife Stadium, and I've said it on multiple videos this week. This feels like a trap game for the Buffalo Bills. They're coming off an emotional victory, a huge comeback performance versus the Baltimore Ravens, and now they got to travel to MetLife. This could be a massive letdown spot for this Bills team, but we'll talk about the offensive game plan and also give you guys my thoughts on how the Jets offense can attack the Bills defense. But before we dive into it, if you guys want the Jets to finally get that first win of the season, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon. If you guys want the Jets to beat the Bills, don't jinx it. I'm going to put today's goal as, let's say, 250 likes. If we could get 250 likes, that'll be fantastic. So if you guys want the Jets to beat the Bills this weekend, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon. So Tanner Engstrand was talking to the media this week, and I thought it was pretty interesting and just hearing how he talks about the game. Because, number one, I thought if I had to give the biggest winner from the Week 1 matchup versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously Justin Fields gets a lot of love. Breece Hall, Armand Membu, a lot of these guys played some great ball out there. But I thought Tanner Engstrand impressed me the most. Like, the offense just felt like they were in rhythm. They were building off previous drives, building off previous plays. And I think that goes to the offensive coordinator. And also keep in mind, this was his first time calling plays in the NFL, and he was that successful against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense with T.J. Watt, Mike Tomlin, that whole front seven, and he was completely cooking in that game. But heading into this Week 2 matchup, Engstrand was saying his goal this week is to have at least 8 explosive plays. And if you guys remember, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, they had 11. They dropped 32 points. Offense was the number 1 in EPA per play this past weekend. So he thinks generating explosive plays is the way to beat the Buffalo Bills. Now, if you guys don't know explosive play, it's either a 15-yard run or a 20-yard pass, and the Jets had 11 of those against the Steelers this past weekend. And, hearing him say that, even though I think this could be a, ball control offensive philosophy for the Jets this weekend, I also now hearing this, they won't be afraid to take their shots because they know who's on the other side of that field. It's Josh Allen. As good as I think this Jets defense can be, even though they struggled in certain spots against the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're not going to slow down Josh Allen and hold him under 20 points. Like, the Jets offense is going to need to put the ball in the end zone at least 3 times, if not 4 times this upcoming weekend. And how do you get in the end zone at an efficient rate? You generate explosive plays. So that is their goal this weekend. Their game plan is to generate explosive plays. They had 11 against the Steelers. They want to have at least 8 against the Buffalo Bills, and you should be able to. Like, this Bills defense, I understand the Bills are a wagon of a football team, but majority of that is because of their quarterback. It's not really on that defensive side of the football. So if you're going to have to go toe for toe with Josh Allen, I mean, the guy is absolutely unguardable. He's one of the best players I frankly have ever seen play on the NFL field. So you're going to have to go toe for toe with them, and that starts with generating explosive plays, because even though Jets offense was fantastic, sometimes it is tough to just maintain those long drives because just one holding penalty, one missed throw, one poor run, it can just kind of stall an offense out. But if you're getting those chunk plays, you're getting those explosive plays, it can just keep that offense ahead of the sticks. And I really do believe the Jets are going to have to control this game offensively. Like, this is going to have to be, whether it's a combination of, they're just getting downhill, they're leaning on that offensive line, and they're really trying to kind of, impose their physicality a little bit on this Bills defense. But they're going to need to control this game. They're going to need to dominate the time of possession. It's going to have to take, in my opinion, a masterclass offensive performance by Tanner Engstrand and Justin Fields. So I'll talk more about the offense here in a second, what I think their game plan is going to be, how it could potentially look in this Week 2 matchup. But I'm going to put the over-under here for the Jets offense at 23.5 points. You guys drop your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give me an O for over. Give me a U for under. Do you think the Jets are going to score 24 or more? You guys let me know your thoughts down below. So I do want to talk about the Jets offense more because, number one, they were so much fun to watch. Like, obviously, they're very efficient. They're very productive. But it's also a very fun offense to watch operate because, obviously you got Garrett Wilson on the outsides, but you don't really have like a Minnesota Vikings group of weapons or a Cincinnati Bengals where it's like you got two of the best receivers on the outside. You got a rookie tight end in Mason Taylor. You got kind of a journeyman tight end in Jeremy Ruckert who's just solid. And then you really just got a bunch of kind of solid receivers outside of Garrett Wilson. But what makes this offense so much fun to watch is their ability to generate explosive plays in the running game. And I think that's what's going to have to happen. I could see the Jets trying to come out here and run the piss out of the football. And we know that. Like, we understand that the Jets, this whole offseason, it's about being a physical team. It's about playing kind of that ball control. We're going to lean on the run game. We're going to lean on the defense. And I think it's going to be even more of that this weekend. So I'm looking at the offensive line. I asked you guys on the previous show, who do you think is the biggest X factor in this game? I said a player specific. I couldn't even give you guys a player. It was the five guys up front. It's Fashanu, it's Simpson, it's Myers, it's Tippmann, and it's Membu. Those guys are going to have to dominate this football game. And it also gets back to, I call it the four running backs, even though Fields obviously being a quarterback, but Justin Fields with his legs. Breece Hall was running amazing. Braylon Allen, even though he had, a slower start to the season, I still think that guy is a special, special talent. Then you even got a guy like Isaiah Davis, who's elite in the pass-catching game, great at blitz pickup, but I think it's going to have to build off the run game because that will also set up the play actions for Fields. We saw the boot game being very, very effective. And the one thing that I thought was so key with, this Jets offense getting going this past week was Engstrand just got Fields going. And I've made this comparison with Fields. He is a streaky player. He is a streaky shooter in basketball where Fields sees his first couple of completions go in, he starts to gain some confidence, and he starts to feel like he's the best football player out there. Because I could also make the argument, Justin Fields, when he's rolling, when he is winning from within the pocket, when then you add like kind of the icing on the cake being his legs, he can be a dominant football player out there. Like he can truly change games. He can take over games because he has like that ceiling that is why he was drafted number 11. That is why the New York Jets took a chance on him because if he puts it all together, this guy could be an absolute stud. So I'm looking at the offensive line. I think the Jets are going to come out, try to set the tone early, where if they get the ball in the first possession of the game, don't be shocked if they start off with 5 or 6 straight runs, and then maybe they take a deep shot. Because talk about generating these explosive plays, you kind of got to set them up, especially with a guy like Justin Fields. It's not like they're going to, first play of the game, straight drop back, he hits his back foot, and he's delivering a 20-yard seed to Garrett Wilson. That's not really how the Jets offense operates. They want to kind of build off plays. They want to build off drives. They did a great, great job of setting plays and setting drives up. Like, I thought it was so cool. You didn't really see the Justin Fields rushing attack until about the third or fourth drive of the game. They were setting that up. They were setting up the read options. They were getting downhill. And plus, if you're getting downhill with Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and you just keep on handing it off, Fields is just looking at that D end. All right, I'm going to pull it this time. I'm going to pull it this time. I'm going to pull it this time. I could see Fields ripping off like a massive touchdown run in this game. Bills, they got good edge rushers, but they weren't the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's why I was so impressed with Armand Membu. And this guy's honestly turning into one of my favorite players, not only on the Jets, but the entire National Football League. What this kid did at 21 years old, and probably the nerves were high heading into the game. You're going up against T.J. Watt, probably the best pass rusher in the league, and the guy blanketed him. He was not only just beating him, he was dominating him. He was pancaking him. He was moving well. He is just so strong. Membu is one of those guys where if he gets his hands on you, good luck, because you're not getting off him. He is just that physically imposing of a right tackle. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic when I say this. I think he's going to be an all-pro year one. He looked that good. It's almost like one of those things where it's like once you see it, you see it. And we saw it with Membu. This guy is going to be one of the premier right tackles in the league for a very long time. I think he's got Penei Sewell type of potential where he can completely change an offensive line. And if they're able to get downhill, run behind him or run behind Fashanu, the Jets running to the left side of the offensive line was unbelievable this past week. Fashanu and Simpson, I don't know how Simpson graded out so poorly he did according to PFF. I thought he was a mauler in the run game. Or even Joe Tippmann. The guy's barely played right guard in his life. He's played under 200 snaps in his NFL career before last week. And that guy was just fucking mauling in the run game. So you got to give credit there. But those 5 guys up front, they're going to be the X factors in this game. And I love it. I love having that physical, sense of a football team. It's so much fun to watch, especially compared to where the Jets were last year, where they were a soft football team. Just call it like it is. Like Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, like they had a soft culture here in New York where now it's the opposite. I'm sure the Bills are saying to themselves, being like, hey, that Jets team we saw the last couple of years, they're not the same team. They're going to try to get downhill. They're going to try to punch you square in the teeth. And I think that's what the Jets are going to do. And I'm going to call my shot. I think the Jets are going to win this football game. I think this is going to be a game where, obviously it's at the noon slate. This will probably be one of the more marquee games at that time. But I think once 3:30 rolls around and people are looking at the scoreboards across the league and they're like, oh shit, the Jets are about to beat the Bills. The Bills just had a historic comeback against the Baltimore Ravens. People think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I think this is going to be a message to the league. And if you could somehow win this damn football game, you go to Tampa, you go to Miami. It is on the table. The Jets are 3-1. This is a good Jets football team. The fact that they lost against the Steelers, it was heart-wrenching. I mean, it was a terrible loss, but the process was good. The process was fantastic, and that's always my mentality when evaluating football teams and evaluating plays. Because you can sometimes have a bad play, but if the process is good, it's going to work out eventually. And that's what the Jets set in week 1. They set that tone, and it starts with the offensive line. Then it goes to Tanner Engstrand, and then you just got to make Fields' life easy. And I understand, and the quarterback position in the NFL, the discourse is always so funny. Because if you just look on paper, Justin Fields versus Josh Allen, there's no chance Fields beats him, right? Unless Fields has an easier job on Sunday. Unless that Jets defense is flying around. And Will McDonald, Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson, they're getting home to number 17. And then you look on the other side, Fields is running the ball. He's got easy looks. He's feeling it. He's grooving. He just needs to be the better and more comfortable football player out there for one game. Obviously, for all 17 games, you're taking Josh Allen. But for just one game in this spot, don't be shocked if Justin Fields outplays this guy. I know it sounds crazy. I know I'm not trying to be hyperbolic or get headlines here or get clicks. I just really think Fields, when he is cooking like he was last weekend, he is one of the more dominant players in the National Football League, and he has his teammates believing, because that's also a factor. When they see their quarterback balling and they see the talent that is on this roster and the coaching staff they have, I'm sure just some natural hope will start to build within this organization. And plus with Garrett Wilson and, Myers and Jeremy Rucker playing with that guy back at Ohio State, I'm sure they're saying, hey, we saw what this guy can do. He can replicate this in the NFL level. We saw that week 1, so let's build off that. But I thought it was very interesting what Tanner Engstrand had to say. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, go Jets.